Good evening. A giant new petrol storage facility at Outer Harbour could allow one of the big three fuel companies to monopolise South Australia's market. The $100 million depot will give Caltex a huge supply advantage over its rivals, raising questions about future pricing at the pumps.
8 tanks that completely change the shape of our state's fuel supply.
It means safe, reliable supply for industry, for customers and for everyone who drives a car in South Australia.
Caltex now able to stockpile 85 million litres at its new Pelican Point terminal, doubling the total capability in a state which until now could only store a few days' worth.
We have seen times over the last 10 years when South Australia has had interruptions to fuel supply.
You can't have a growing economy without a stable and reliable fuel supply. What we're seeing today is that security.
Also beefed up the position of Caltex in the Adelaide market, dramatically overtaking both BP and Mobil.
It does give Caltex a competitive advantage, particularly at the wholesale level. Obviously we want for the ACCC to keep an eye on competition at that level because it's not competitive. It does have a knock-on effect at the pump price.
At this point, the National Competition Watchdog is apparently not concerned about a possible Caltex monopoly. For its part, the RAA won't say whether it believes prices will go up or down, but one thing is certain thanks to the new Caltex deal.
They can get more volumes to market quicker compared to BP and Mobil at the moment.
A market that's rarely been more volatile. Today's prime example, stations across the road from each other at North Haven with a 17-cent price difference.
What do you think about just over the road, about a 17 cents difference just over the road?
That's pretty huge, man. I didn't even notice it. Yeah, that's pretty massive, isn't it?
Live now to Jack Burketta. Jack, as we've seen, it's a strange cycle at the moment. When should motorists fill up?
Well, Brenton, the message is to fill up now. The majority of service stations have already made the jump, rising around 17 cents a litre to the $1.60 mark. However, the RAA says there are still some savings to be found, like this service station behind me on Main North Road, but in particular with the smaller independents who tend to hold off on the savings for at least another day. But the bad news is once they rise, prices will remain at the $1.60 mark for at least a few more days. So here's hoping that by the weekend prices will slowly start to slide. Back to you, Brenton.
Absolutely. Thank you, Jack.